thank you all for joining me for another review. Today I will be reviewing Proud Mary. Proud Mary is a 2018 American action thriller film directed by Babak Najafi from a screenplay by John S. Newman, Christian Swiegel, and Stephen Anton, based on a story by Newman and Swiegel. It follows an assassin who must look after a young teenage boy after a hit job goes wrong. Over the last year, there have been a plethora of films about female assassins released to the public, so the last thing you want to be is the dud in the bunch. Unfortunately, that's what this is, a dud. While it has a couple of likable qualities, that does not mean it qualifies as a good female assassin movie, or even a good action movie for that matter. Based on the opening credits, I was getting very strong blaxploitation vibes, which were very big in the 70s. It was reminding me of films like Foxy Brown or Coffee, and so I thought that was the kind of film I was in for, just a far more modernized version. Turns out I was way off, because once the opening credits stop, so does most of my interest in this film. The film lacks an engaging plot. There isn't that great of an attempt at a setup, and there isn't a very distinguishable series of events that create a real story. In a way, there is a plot, it's just very poorly executed and it's missing a story. There is zero character development, no background given on any of our characters, so not only do we not know where they're going, we don't even know where they've been. They're just present and throughout the film remain very stagnant. It makes it hard to watch because you are constantly waiting for things to start moving, but they never do. The first couple of minutes of the film are really the only telltale signs of your typical female assassin character that we are going to see. We watch Taraji P. Henson, who plays Mary, work out, then dress, get her guns, put on her wigs, and then she's off to work. She has a massive arsenal that she barely even uses. She has a wig collection that would make any drag queen jealous, and she only uses it once. That's just disappointing. I don't feel as though this film went in with a clear objective. It knew it wanted to focus on Mary and this young boy Danny, played by Jahi Diallo Winston, which it does, and I admit these two have great chemistry together, but apart from this, we have nothing. The story sort of revolves around them, but it's very forced and at the same time very bland. The performances aren't terrible. To be fair, you can't deliver what isn't there to be delivered, so I don't feel like I can comment on the performances, though it pains me to see Henson be given so little. Mary is definitely a strong character, but frankly she doesn't do much, and what she does do isn't that impressive because we've seen far more and far better execution in other movies that by comparison this just doesn't stack up. I guess it's that time again. It's time for Ashley's alcoholic tip of the day. My alcoholic tip of the day is that while watching this, take a shot every time Mary tells Danny to watch his mouth. That's done enough times to make you drunk enough to forget that this was ever done to Taraji. Now back to this review. What I do love about this movie, and is its biggest pro for me, is that they made Mary a very maternal and emotional based character. For so long it has aggravated me that these characters are always written the same no matter the movie. Strong, badass women devoid of human emotion and all natural maternal instincts. But in this case, Mary is very maternal at her core, and I love it. Mary takes a very motherly approach to Danny, and she does ultimately become a mother figure even when she has her big action sequence towards the end, which was just okay. The whole approach is that this is very much the literal depiction of the expression a mother lifting a car of her child. I love that there is a bond between the two characters. I just wish it had been established better. I appreciate that while Mary is a skilled and capable fighter, in her heart she doesn't like it. You can see for the most part she doesn't enjoy killing, and she doesn't enjoy watching other people be hurt. She's a killer with a conscience, and that makes her very appealing. They could have built a lot more around those characteristics alone. All of Mary's action sequences are very predictable. There's nothing unique. It's all very much what we've seen before, just a much weaker quality. It's like how you have the name brand of a product and a home brand version. Well, Proud Mary is the home brand version of female assassin movies. The music choices for this film were incredibly off, especially during the end of the film. In our last action sequence, Tina Turner's Proud Mary is played over the top, and it does not work at all. It does not fit the tone of the film or fit the series of events that are being played out on the screen. It is only there because the song is called Proud Mary and this film is called Proud Mary. But just because two things share a name does not mean they belong together. Quite honestly, Mary does not come off as a female assassin at all. For starters, she kills a total of 2 people by order, but mostly she just isn't written that way. They focus so much on Mary and Danny and this bond they are developing, which honestly develops insanely fast. So fast it feels rushed that they don't establish who Mary is, and they fail to showcase her as the female assassin we are to believe she is. I was truly looking forward to this movie. I love assassin movies, especially female ones, and I love all the actors in this movie, but this was just an all-around fail. It was very dull. If this movie was a person, I would be calling a code because I couldn't find a pulse on this thing anywhere. I wish this had been better, and it could have been so much better, but sadly it wasn't. Thank you as always for watching, whoever you are and wherever you may be. If not already, then please subscribe. I would get down on my knees and beg if I could, but I can't, so let's just pretend I did. Until next time, bye.